All that planes.
Hi, Spirit. How you guys? What a couple days I've had. I've had some big realizations and faced some truths that were earth-shattering.
And on Friday.
On Friday.
A lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things happened since Friday.
Deals rely on.
Today is Mother's Day. I just got out of the shower. I had to cleanse myself of all this energy. This is like the third or fourth shower that I've had in 2 days. I'm bathing away the bullshit. And I'm trying. And I'm going to try to concisely convey. Look at this mustache. Get over it. Grannies have whiskers. But I hate it. It's probably one of the things I hate about myself is my facial hair. Anyways, I'm showing up how I am, and this is me. Like it or not, here I come.
To David. The reality.
I've attempted to make videos and videos and videos, because that's how I cope. That's the only... Spirit's the only person I have to talk to. And I'm trying to talk to you guys, but nobody is responding.
Run!
Run. Stop saying run. Right. This morning, Mother's Day morning, I wanted to run. I've spent like a whole year trying to mend my relationship with my daughter and be here to support her. And us mothers are not valued. Why are you spraying? I have a cat who's spraying right next to me. He pees on everything. Everything is his.
His problem was...
Right, and that's part of the problem. Is...
By a frontier.
I'm not going to go into all that. My daughter ruined Mother's Day. She was completely fine, and then she wasn't. We had lunch, we went grocery shopping, and as soon as I got the groceries and we got home, she went off. Ballistic. And so disrespectful, and saying things to me that she shouldn't say. And normally I would cry or try to explain or whatever. But I was filled with so much rage. But not a rage that I've ever had before. I was just done. I was done with this spiritual journey. I was done with all this. Everything that I always hear from Spirit or my tarot or whatever, great things are coming to me and all this wonderful thing is going to happen. And here I am just getting shat on for Mother's Day. And part of that is her complaining about the animals that I never wanted but love now and depend on for support. They truly are emotional support animals, but I don't have the ability to provide food for them. My daughter is supporting me in a sense. Did you say murder or burger? Yeah, pipe down. I'm trying to talk. That's what I call the cat, by the way, Murder Burger. So, they may be talking to Miguel, who I call Murder Burger, who also pees everywhere. And he's part of the problem. part of the problem is when I first moved in here, the only real reason that I was here, I think, was to babysit and drive the kids and help around the house. And the house was just absolutely in shambles. And over the months, my daughter, who doesn't really want me here,
The men.
yeah, had, it's been this whole thing. She brought this guy in and tried to sit me down and say how much I had to. She moved him in. A hobosexual. If you don't know what that is, look it up. This guy moved in when the weather was about to get cold. And
Inspiring cure.
I had a huge problem with her doing that. With her calling a meeting and telling us both we had to have a job. And it just... And in that meeting, she said that she doesn't require me to clean, that she doesn't want me to clean. She doesn't require me to clean. And she wants me to get a job. And I've tried. I've applied everywhere. I have done everything I can. I've door-dashed in my 24-year-old Tascas, right? It's just... I've tried. This is what I'm trying now. I'm trying not to go viral, but just to, I don't know, build something. I work with music. And earlier, when I came out here, I got the song, I forget I don't know what it's actually called, but it says, take me through there, take me through there. Take me through there, take me through there. And
USP.
I had to realize, after this whole thing of me wanting to just give up, like I had to literally sit with this for a good, like 18 hours. And I went down to the Sacramento River and sat by in my car. Because part of my problem is I'm afraid of people and men. And there's lots of homeless people there, and they're predominantly men. But I sat down and I started to just, without knowing anything to do, just tell my story with no censorship of names or anything. And Spirit told me to stop when I got to right before I met my husband. So I did, and I came home, and even after this big fight and everything that my daughter did to me yesterday, there's this thing that just, basically what I realized is that she was doing exactly what my husband used to do. Ruin holidays and treat me like crap. And what I've done in the last couple months, because I have been working with babysitting this wonderful little boy that I babysit, I have just been exhausted. And I've tried to integrate the kids into taking care of the house and having them do chores. And the reason she went off was they had hours to finish the kitchen and finish the living room, and it still wasn't done. And there were bugs in the house, and my grandson was freaking out about these bugs. Freaking out. Like shrieking like a girl. And which might seem derogatory, but that's exactly what he was doing. And my daughter was reacting to them not doing the chores, but in the way they were doing the chores, I realized that they had never really been taught how to do any of these things. And my daughter started blaming me and screaming and yelling about how I'm home all day and she's going to quit her job and she could do a better job at taking care of this and taking care of that. And I've been begging for a vacuum for I don't know, 6 or 7 months. If you look at my earlier videos, I have a GoFundMe kind of for a damn vacuum. So she ran out and was pissed off and bought a mop and a vacuum, and she started cleaning the house, and she demanded that I come downstairs, put a smile on my face, and help her clean up. I had already done half the dishes. I had already swept the floor, threw away the most offending things that were out, and I had already participated while she was gone and instructed the kids on what they needed to do. But that's not what she wanted, really. She wanted to create this chaos that she's brought forward in her life, in which mirrors a dynamic she had with her abusive husband, where there would be a blow up, and then there was this common enemy that would unite her and her kids against this enemy. And there's like this chaotic energy that my granddaughter gets, where she's so joyful after a blow up like this. And then my grandson is not really knowing what to do, but also not speaking up, not saying, Granny's not responsible for this. I didn't do my chores. I left this there. Basically what happened is they just throw garbage and it spills everywhere. They leave food and crap everywhere. And bugs are going to come. And I've stopped cleaning it up. I'll do the bare minimum because she said I wasn't required to clean, because these kids need to help too. I'm not a maid and a chauffeur. But because I don't have a job and I don't bring in a paycheck, what I do is not valued. And what I realized was that all the work that I did to leave my husband, all the work I've done to become self-sufficient, all of the time that I've spent talking to her and trying to heal why she's so angry with me. She can't even tell me why she's angry with me. But she gets drunk and she just comes to my room or wherever I am, and I have no peace. The problem with that is it's not just an argument, but I have diabetes. I have type 2 diabetes, and my diabetes reacts to stress. And so my numbers are over 300. That's with my medication. And yeah, I feel horrible. And so I just kind of disengage, and I am fuming. So I wake up and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like my husband used to do, like everybody used to do, that there's nothing wrong and that nothing happened yesterday. And I was supposed to cook yesterday in order for us to have food prepared for today, so I wouldn't have to cook today. And she told me not to cook, even though I just went and bought all the groceries. So I woke up and I left the house, and I was seriously contemplating ending it all. Because what is there when I looked forward in my life to what I'm trying to do or build? There was just blankness. It was dark. There's nothing. Nothing to me really mattered but my child. And I failed. I failed that the only thing I ever wanted to be was a mother and a wife. And I failed. My daughter is mimicking the situations that she grew up in, that I allowed her to see and go through. And she's bringing that into her life with her kids. And keeping ourselves isolated away from all of these toxic people is just, it doesn't matter. It's manifesting, and they're seeing it.
We get a lot.
So the harm that I gave everything up for, is just sitting right here. So what is there to go on for it? I don't want to write my book anymore. I don't want to do my story. I don't want anything. I want my child. So I'm making this video, and I talked for 2 hours. Hold on.
With proven.
And this is part of it too, this thing I'm smoking. Never mind what I'm smoking. Never mind what I'm smoking. But I've been wondering why I'm smoking. And it makes sense right now. It's this minute. I was thinking about my mother. I spoke a lot about my real mother, my stepmother, my mother-in-law. And
Stop.
okay, I'm trying. I'll stop. The other thing. Okay. It's not about that. I didn't feel better after talking for 2 hours and naming names. Yeah, painting town red. And I didn't know whether I was going to post it or what it was, but I just really didn't. I wanted to walk into the water and just go away. And my daughter kicked me out, so where am I going to go? I don't have any money. I don't have a job. I have nowhere to go. I can't sleep in my car because it's filled with mold, and it's 100 degrees in this hot-ass Reading. Reading is hot as the devil's taint. And that's why it's cheap. It's also full of racist assholes, but there's some cool people here, and it's beautiful. So I went to the closest part of nature that I could get to, and came home and took a nap. And I felt a little better. But overthinking and getting away from my phone and my iPad and all these things, and just thinking about, why would God do this? And I think by talking about my mom and what she went through and how I never really talk in my questing on these videos I do with Spirit. I never really talk about her. But because her story's not mine to tell. But I needed to talk about that. And the reason I needed to talk about that is because I think me facing a life of the unknown, it wasn't dark and black because it was oppressive or anything like that. It was just completely unknown. How do I live a life without my child? But I've come to the last person I have, and my grandkids, who I do everything for. And I think God was trying to show me that I needed to live for me. That I'm not going to continue to be treated like crap. And I've done what I can to apologize and to sit in the hot seat and work through whatever our problems are. But she's abusing me. When I said that, she told me to get out. Told me to kick me out. Where do I go? And I'm terrified of people. And I just have past trauma from being homeless. What do I do? Do I go home and kiss her ass? I pretend like nothing happened? What do I do? And Mother's Day is ruined. So it all happens for a reason. God allowed me to be angry. I have been angry like I've never been angry. It's like it's just an absolute feeling of conviction that I'm done. I'm done with this healing process. I'm done with trying to apologize for even being alive. I'm done being silent. I'm done being abused. If I wanted to live a life like this, I would have stayed in my 6-bedroom 4-bath house with my husband of almost 40 years. So after I just got out of the shower, I ate something, thought about making a video, and God reminded me of something. I'm not sure exactly what this has to do with anything, but God reminded me of, I've spoken on videos before about parasocial relationships and how that's basically what raised me. And I had a memory of... Now, okay. I had a memory of Oprah. Back in the day, Oprah was like Jesus in a sense. And I know you guys want to cancel her or whatever, but I love Oprah.
We know we.
You know it. Okay. Maybe this thing will stay lit. Lawsuit.
If they're
Try to sue me. I don't have shit.
to
You can't squeeze blood out of a stone. Anyways.
Okay.
I remember everybody at my in-laws, every little thing was like, oh, call Oprah, she'll help you. Oh, you should write to Oprah. Tell Oprah. Oprah will help you. And this was years of this. And I remember just feeling so bad for Oprah. The weight of that, of everybody just thinking that you could solve all their problems. And as I was a young mother and dealing with stuff and going through stuff with my husband, I then saw a show where this woman was telling her story, how she was having a hard time in life, and she happened to go to some auction where they were selling stuff, and Oprah had donated some shoes. And she was so excited to get Oprah's shoes. And she would stand in Oprah's shoes, and she felt like she could face anything.
Just
because of who Oprah was and what she exposed about herself and her struggles and her quest to bring enlightenment and to talk to people of all walks of life and acknowledging housewives like I was a housewife. And I felt so bad for Oprah. And so this is before I really knew about prayer or any of those things. And so I would compose letters to Oprah in my head. But I wasn't asking her for anything. I was going to tell her how I had solved the issue I faced and how I had solved it. I didn't want Oprah to give me anything. I wanted Oprah to be proud of me. She had been abused. I had been abused. And I saw myself as living my purpose as a mother. And I was facing some nasty, ugly stuff. Really had no guidance. And for years, I would compose letters to Oprah. And through those letters to Oprah in my brain, dear Oprah, me again.
In the dark.
It was a way for me to kind of do what I'm doing now. And explain the problem and explained how I came to the solution and how I solved it. And how it had strengthened me or further challenges. It wasn't tied up like a sitcom, like 30 minutes. I had an easy answer. And that I remembered that. I'm not sure when I stopped composing letters to Oprah in my brain.
And Charlie.
But there were years. And the funny thing is that Oprah was the only thing my daughter would watch. Well, that and adult. She was a weird child. She didn't want Sesame Street. She didn't want any of that. She wanted to watch Oprah. So that's what she watched. And I don't want to cry. But I do want to say thank you to Oprah. Thank you.
I think.
It's hard. What she did was hard and it was brave. And she helped me without ever knowing me. And she was something to aspire to. Not the wealth, not the TV show.
Just say.
The healing. The coming out on the other side.
Pre-goal.
Having the world know. And standing in the face of that. Being a black woman and succeeding so wildly. Gave me hope that my daughter would succeed. That I could succeed. Oprah's not a color. She's not a sex. She's a force to be reckoned with. And so am I. And Oprah's my mother, too. She gave me knowledge and understanding. She gave me Maya Angelou. Yeah, I know Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz were on Oprah, too, but nobody knew they were scammers. Oh. I'm not saying she's God or an angel or anything like that. She's a human just like me. She's a woman just like me in this world. And she has billions of dollars and I have $3.
So much for taking it.
But her and I both have something that you can't buy. And that is inner light.
Is.
And
This.
love. That's what I want to say. I have failed at being a mother. I have failed at being a wife. And I have forgiven everybody in my life.
I get it.
All my mothers. And I think part of it was about me stopping the need to get people to understand why I'm so broken. I have my first appointment with a therapist tomorrow. And I kept thinking, what am I going to tell this therapist? I've healed myself. What do I really need to talk to them about? And I don't know. I thought I was going to go in there and talk about my fear of having my teeth fixed and becoming a victim. because I was so abused and attacked and persecuted by everybody when I looked good. And the more of a monster I made of myself, the more weight I gained, the more I let my teeth just disintegrate in my mouth and didn't take care of my skin or my hair or anything. The more I diminished myself, the nicer people were to me, the more comfortable they were with me. And now I'm alone. And I'm going to have teeth. And my inner light is shining. And that's really what they want to kill. But I'm not afraid anymore.
Her and her friend.
I'm not afraid. Because this whole thing was never about being a mother. It was never about being a wife. It was about loving me. And me being enough to go on even if nobody else was with me. With the practical knowledge that I can't find a job and prices are so high and the world is the way it is. And not running away and not going to be a dependent on somebody else. This is a common thing over and over and over. And it stops here.
That's the only.
I am enough. I'm enough. And if people don't want to hear what I have to say, that doesn't diminish what I have to say.
Between this and
If I'm pretty and have teeth and look kind of well put together, I don't think it's going to make people hear me any better. And that's part of what this smoking is. I quit smoking, and it was the biggest accomplishment I had ever done. And recently, I've been back smoking. Not smoking cigarettes, but other things. And just like my addiction with cigarettes, it's gotten out of control. It's gotten out of control. Spirit, let me talk. And I've been sitting here like I don't feel the same. I don't feel that smoking this is the same as smoking that. I don't feel. I'm addicted, but it's not the same. That addiction was hiding, muting all the abuse, and I needed that withdrawal to find my way out. God used it. So I've been asking him, why am I doing this? Why would I do this after 6 years of touching no nicotine, of the pride of accomplishing this? And I think I figured it out this morning. Nobody celebrated me when I quit. Nobody believed that I would stay off cigarettes. And nobody celebrated this huge accomplishment. Nobody has celebrated any of my accomplishments. I'm not celebrated. I'm not celebrated. And I've been feeling kind of guilty about this, wondering, is this something that God has planned for me, this smoking, or is it me just falling back into old patterns? And I've been trying to figure out medication for depression and all these things and get my blood sugar under control, and I have just been a mess. Feeling horrible and guilty and letting the house fall behind because I'm not appreciated, and it's feeling the same way that I felt the smoking, the dependency, the having to ask my daughter for $1.50 for my cigar, and her not wanting to give me $1.50. The the same abuse with my husband, making me ask for cigarette money over and over again to feed my addictions, right? I think that this is part of it, and God is showing me that
10 seconds.
what is he showing me? Spirit? I lost it. I lost it. That's what happens when you're, I'm kind of channeling. I think he's showing me that nobody celebrated me anyways, that the victory was for me, and my life is for me. And if I write this book and I'm in this situation, this dependent situation, and I make this story, this book, whatever I'm doing, it's a lot. I got videos on that.
Elevated. Go ahead.
I won't be celebrated. If I win the lottery like I'm trying to win the lottery, I will then become just the person. I have to do this for me. I have to write my book for me. I have to quit smoking for me. And if I want to smoke, that's for me too. It's not the same thing. But I think the difference is this time I know I can quit. And this time it's not, I don't know what it is. Basically, the smoking was what made me realize that this was just the same situation I worked so hard to get out of, and I have just landed myself in the same situation. But I think that God is telling me now that I have the tools to sit down and figure it out. And I don't need to talk to Oprah in my head anymore. And I thank her. I thank her for being a mother to all of us. And for trying. And I'm going to be okay. And I had to just tell my daughter, I'm sorry for whatever part I played in yesterday, and please forgive me, and I forgive you too, even though she ruined Mother's Day. My identity can't be as a mother or a wife or any of these things. I need to be me, and I need to figure out who that is. Hold on.
Kansas City.
Probably going to run out of tape because I haven't erased that 2-hour video. That's what I wanted to say. And I have given myself as much self-therapy, I think, as I can. And I'm going to show up there tomorrow, and rather than me being in control, I'm going to allow somebody else to control and to guide me.
All the people in.
And I have an appointment later on this month to get my teeth pulled. And I'm afraid of that, but at the same time, I need it. I need this infection out of my mouth. I need to get a job.
No season.
And there's nothing I can do about my 7th grade education. There's nothing I can do at this point about that. And I don't even have the energy to try. I'm tired. Damn it, this thing keeps going out. It's probably a sign. It comforts me. I'm soothing myself. It's also an indulgence, so I'm indulging myself as well, and that's okay. So, That's that. I can't stay in this situation. I can't remain dependent. And rather than running off or running for somebody else to take care of me, I am going to sit down and figure it out. And this isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. And that's a gift. Retelling my story and just the abandonment and the abuse, it just made me feel bad for me. But in a sense, I validated myself. I have come a long way. I've come a long way, baby. And I'm going to be okay. I'm still mad at God because nobody should have to go through that. But sometimes we fail. Sometimes we fail at what we set out to do because that's not what we're supposed to do. I'm not saying I wasn't supposed to be a mom, but I messed up.
Counsel, yep.
And maybe I didn't mess up as bad as some other moms, or maybe I was worse than other moms. But part of looking at how people have treated you, you have to look at how you've treated people. And my daughter's soon to be 36, and she has to figure it out for herself. Same thing with my husband. And there it is. That's all I wanted to say. Happy Mother's Day to those of you that are mothers, those of you who identify as mothers, those of you men who are mothers to your children. As I hear some lady screaming at her kids. It's a thankless job. It never stops. But that's not who I am. That's not the only thing in the world that validates me anymore. And I am not important because I gave birth to somebody or because some man put a ring on my finger. I had value all along.
America.
And just because nobody else sees it,
Let me go ahead.
doesn't mean it's not there. I have to value myself and have to look like I value myself, because that's what this world respects. So watch out, world. I'm getting some teefers. You're not ready. Take me through there, take me through there. Okay? You are not ready. Thank you, Spirit, for spending time with me. To making me feel like I'm not talking to myself. I hope you guys have a great day.